Today on Crazy Carl Projects, the Yaris gets a little bit of a facelift. This is Carl's 2007 Toyota Yaris, originally purchased to be a fuel-saver vehicle. But it's also a lot of fun to drive, and actually a very comfortable vehicle to ride in. But it's not without its flaws. We weren't a fan of the random strip of tint at the top of the windshield. The windshield was also cracked, which was not a great thing. Also, the headlights were a little bit yellowed. So we were able to get some headlights in from Amazon, some googly eyes, and made a, well, I thought it was a funny video, but opinions differ, I guess, for a quick little short on the channel, and then planned to replace the headlights. And then the garage happened, which, although in these photos looks a little bit worse than what it actually was. I thought it was going to be a long video out of that, but it turns out it was just a couple of boards had given way, thanks to some less than quality workmanship, we will say, from the people who built the garage, which shall remain nameless. So after the tire rack fiasco was resolved, we were able to get busy on the headlights.
Hello, sick boy.
Hello.
I'm fooling around with your headlights.
I noticed.
So, this is the left side of the car. Excuse me, I just had to think about it for a second. Left side. I'll show you how to put these bulbs in a second, but on the left side, I don't... Alright, this may be stupid information, but like... The way the plug will be oriented for the headlight bulb to not be upside down is with the third prong on top, not the bottom, and T-ways. These stupid Toyota bulb retaining clips are a pain in the butt. It's kind of like almost impossible to do while it's still inside the car unless you've got like little dainty lady fingers. Gotta squeeze these things, pull it up. Get your bulb. Here's a LED. You're gonna line these two prongs on the bottom up with... trying to do this one-handed. With the two indents on the top. And the single one will be on the bottom. So there's only one way you can put in a normal halogen bulb, because it'll just have a fixed base. You'll want to squeeze these and try to work them under this area. But with these LEDs, once you've got the base clicked in, retained with the clip, you can put in the bulb two different directions. This way, where the third pin is on top, or this way where the third pin is on bottom. I am going to go outside and test and see which orientation these need to be correct. I don't know if it's the same as the left headlight, but yes.
And they're H4 bulbs, just...
Yes. Well, H4 9003, whatever.
I think the other orientation is that. Their H4 is the main thing I saw them listed as.
Wow. I bought 9004. Anyways, or 3 or whatever it is. I don't know.
9003.
I'm gonna go test this. Oh, and what you'll want to do with these LED bulbs, you have to make sure... Normally there's a little rubber dust cap up here with a hole in it for like the wires to stick out the back. Well, you'll want to put the dust cover on and put the bulb through the rubber so that the heatsink is sticking out behind the rubber. You want this to be out and have access to fresh air, not wedged inside the dust cap where it'll overheat. You do not want overheated bulbs with LEDs.
They have to breathe.
Okie dokie. Just trying to make sure before these lights ever go in the Yaris, that I've got, the bulbs can go in 2 orientations. They can be screwed in 2 different ways. So I've got them in one way right now just to make sure before you, it's a lot easier to put the bulb in the headlight before you put the headlight in the car. So I'd rather have the bulb in not upside down before I put it in the car. So I'm trying it by having it plugged into my Scion. So low beam, high beam is above the low beam. So the bulb is in the correct orientation. Good. Good. That is good. Okay, this time I'm trying the right side Yaris headlight plugged into the left side of the XD just because I've got a little extension on the wire harness and it lets me angle this better. Okay, low beam. High beam. I would say that is working properly. I don't quite like the cutoff, the line going across. There's a little bit extra bits of light dispersing where it shouldn't be. That's what causes glare when people are using LED headlights in these housings that are meant for halogen bulbs. They do not angle the headlights, aim them properly after they put in the LED bulbs, and that's what causes the glare. And you also have to, you know, try different bulbs to see which one agrees with your housing the best and has a clean cut line across. A lot of headlights for like older cars do not have the little center cap thing there that helps reflect the light in such a way that you're not looking directly at the bulb. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. So look at the Sunfire's headlights. Oh crap. Okay, actually these are kind of dirty. Well, it's not really easy to look in there, but it has no like center island to stop oncoming drivers from being able to look directly at the bulb. That's what blinds people. But since I have LEDs in this, I've angled the headlights way down to disperse the light properly to not blind other drivers. These are the worst kind of headlight assemblies to put LED bulbs in, but I'm being responsible with how I have them aimed. The front of this car is kind of wacky, so there's kind of, that's not supposed to, yeah. You get the idea. He's got a droop snoot. I'm going to show you one thing. I know this Scion XD and that Yaris, you're going to, we'll try to show this in the Yaris, but we've got these LED decoder boxes. You need to have at least one. So you got your wire harness for the headlight right there, the stock wire harness that comes in the car. You plug that into this decoder box, and the other end you'll plug into the headlight bulb connector, and that provides resistance enough. Your high beams will work without that just fine, but whenever you go to turn your high beams on, you won't get the indicator light. So you need at least one of those decoder boxes. You don't really need both. One gives you just enough resistance to trigger the relay in here that turns that light on the dash. Otherwise, you won't have a high beam indicator light on your dash. You can use both, but that just uses more electricity because halogen bulbs require less, or halogen bulbs create more resistance than an LED bulb does. So these relays in these cars that came from the factory with halogen bulbs are meant to look for higher resistances to trigger the relays. When you put in LED bulbs, they don't have that resistance that the relays need to actuate. So you have to add in those decoder boxes that add a little bit of resistance to make it the relay see enough resistance to trigger. So yes, that's what I'm trying to say. You only really need one. And it's got that added goofy benefit of having one bulb kind of turn on, like whenever you're flicking the high beams, one of them will kind of come up before the other. So you kind of have like winking lights when you flash them real fast. It's kind of funny. If I can catch this on camera. Whoop. See, they're kind of come on at a different, but you only need one. That'll save you your alternator having to work so hard to power the headlights if you only have one resistor in. Also, if any longtime viewers of the channel are wondering why I don't have the daytime running lights down here on this Scion right now, well, the original ones I had on there filled up with water and they got damaged. The second pair that I got were cheap plastic and they instantly burnt out. So I don't have any on there right now. I'm still waiting on new ones to come. I'm getting the same as I had originally on there, except I'm going to make sure I seal it better myself before I put them on. Just if you were wondering, this video's not about the Scion, but, you know, it's a good test bed. Because the dictators of this channel demand that literally every job be done on camera, I shall be replacing the headlights while this one does yard work. So if you hear in the background, that's, you know.
Well, I was going to do it tomorrow, so.
He's going to do it tonight.
What's interesting is the googly eyes, the glue's still holding like crazy, but the black circles are all getting wavy and melty from the sun.
I've got a lot of zip ties to cut. Back to you when that's done. Snert, snit. I do not think I really care about trying to find the right things to put this on properly.
I'll find clippies for it. Don't worry about that. I'll put that back together. Oh, what? I can get this one. The snippy. Just a little snip.
And there's ones on the bottom too, but I'll get those.
Yeah, we got these. I got the ones I can get to. I'll go get the clips too. Try to figure out what clips will work.
Let the child feel included.
I'm important.
Yes, you are. Under the Yaris, there were, of course, more zip ties. There was one bolt here. And there's two more, two more 10 mils that I'm going to have to take out.
Is it 10 mil?
I think so. Eye protection. Don't have it on. Safety squints. Oh wait, I'm wearing glasses. There's a delightful amount of crusties coming out. Okay.
There, I got it.
Wait a minute.
Got on.
Wait.
Up. I see it. We got a screw right here.
Disclaimer. I have absolutely no idea how to get these headlights off, and this isn't a tutorial. This is a come with me and you'll see how I do this. But front bumper's off.
Everything we do.
Looks like there's one here. One here. Well, that's broken, but one there. And I think that's it. We'll see. Hopefully they're 10 mil because I didn't bring anything else. Got one down. Whoop. Whoop. One to go.
Oh, nice about this being off. Now I can see that these are supposed to be on top of this. So this is actually supposed to be routed that way.
There's more zip ties.
Yep. That. Like hitting that. That's going to get snippety snipped. Wherever the zipper went to. There it is.
That one wasn't even tight. Whoop! Whoop! Hold that. Eh. Eh. Eh.
Of course,
there's a flathead screwdriver right there.
How did I manage to grab
And another plastic. This Carl.
I'll use this. There we go.
There's a flat plastic edge. Well, hold on.
Okay. Well, I got them off. It just was caught on the little bolt bracket a little bit. So we'll get the new ones on. And it's a good time if you need to do anything with the windshield washer, pump, or reservoir, or air intake, or anything like that. With all this off, you have easy access to everything. Alternator. And you'll want to save, don't tear up your boots, because the new ones we got did not come with new boots. So if they're in good shape, you want to reuse them. Transition, and see a little better on these. This goes on the inside. Don't know where you find those, so that's going to be fun figuring out. But let me do a little bit with this side a little better. So, coming along. Oh, and these pop right out so you can clean all the dirt out from behind them while you have it off too. If you have dirt back there, like I did.
You'll want to do, I already pre-installed the bulbs and the bulb base thing in here. So these LEDs, they unscrew like that. You'll want to now I'll put your bulb through the dust shield like that. So the heatsink will be outside of the dust shield. Well, I mean, if with bigger bulbs, with a bigger heatsink, it would stick out back here. But I'm gonna have to do this with two hands. But I'll show you. I'll show you. Screwed in. And I've got the dust shield pushed back out of the way, so at least some, and we know this is suboptimal, but at least some of the heatsink is exposed to the air instead of being inside the dust boot like the previous owner had done. After you get all the bulbs plugged back into the back of the headlight, you'll want to do that before you put it back on. There's these like little plastic tabs for all the things to pop into before you put the bolts in. So it just kind of guides everything in place. See, that slots into that channel.
We also added, which has got a place still, but
one of these
resistors,
decoder box things. So just so the high beam notification light will come on. Boop. Look at that. And I've saved something for the viewers. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, ooh, ooh, go inside, turn the hazard lights on. That's so good.
With the new side beams that run.
I put in an LED flasher relay right there. Novita. That's just a really cheap one. I've got another video explaining Toyota flasher relays having a weird tab on it that you have to like break off. Let's get the bumper on.
Okay. Due to the damage to the old underpinning and not wanting to replace it, I'm going to make a couple of new holes and have fixed these so this actually sits right. with some zip ties. Even though I've done hard work to try to get rid of all the zip ties, sometimes zip ties are the answer, because this plate's good enough. I'm not worried about it. So zip ties will fix it. So all I'm going to do is take some zip ties and a pocket knife and poke some holes. Alright, we got it back together, and you'll see we end up using zip ties under here because, if I can get in view, this is a little broken, so I use it to reinforce that, and there's clips missing, so we don't have the inserts. So the most secure way to do it was with zip ties. Plus it helps solve the problem. This is broken here. Well, I zip tied it back here, so it's still secured. Plus it's connected by a zip tie to this one and to this, so it's been reinforced so it's stable. And that point ended up having to do the same with this one, because that clip failed. So that was how we replaced the clips that failed, because they were expansion things with a bolt. Yeah, if I ever find new ones, I'll replace them, but until then, that makes it good and secure. So, and this is how the cladding goes. This was confusing. That's under the bumper, and then all the cladding goes above the bumper, other than that point, this point, and this point. And see, there's a bolt still on this one where it's supposed to be, but that's missing the clip over here. So I've used, there I was actually able to use a body clip, and it's held it good. Plus I secured, this was another point where there's supposed to be a clip mount, and I used a zip tie to combine these. So that's good and secure, so it won't flap and won't pull out. So it's all sound. So yeah, it's all back together. And also, while we're headed off, we managed to fix the horn. There's a short on that, so you'll see that, but it looks a lot better. That bumper still needs a repaint, but it looks a whole lot better with those new headlights.
All right.
So it's
Another
all together.
Project well done.
Yep, it's all good to go.
Looks
Egg pod 1 is ready.
47% less clapped out.
Now we just need a paint job. You may not want to hitchhike there, buddy. I don't know if you can see him there or not. Yeah, there he is. We have a hitchhiker. But, yep. So, it's still running. You can do a shot, and I think we're done.
Meh.
So, that's it for this one. Until next time, like, share, subscribe, watch, share it, count the fingers. No close-ups, please. Until next time, have a good one.
Got the new headlights in the Yaris, got the bulbs in, and we were just trying to aim things. And coming back to what I was saying earlier about you need to buy different bulbs and try things out, because different bulbs agree with housings differently. You have to find the bulb that agrees with the housing. These aren't so great with all these errant beams going up, light scattered. These are the same exact bulbs in the Scion, the red XD, and look at that. Same bulbs, different housings, and they're a lot cleaner, whereas there's a lot of errant scatter on this one. So these housings seem to be a little bit less advanced. This is a 2012, this is a 2007, so I feel like they might have, I don't know, they've got more of a cutoff on modern cars than older cars do. So long.